Mind strategies for avoiding the now. 1. Core delusion is loss of being. Even if you intellectually grasp the concept of time as an illusion, it won't truly transform your life until you embody this truth. Feel the vibrancy of life pulsating within you. Experience the joy of being in every cell, in every moment. This is the key to unlocking true freedom from the illusion of time. The real issue isn't the worries of tomorrow or the inevitability of aging and death, but rather the loss of now. This loss is a core delusion that transforms ordinary situations into personal suffering, disconnecting you from the essence of your being. Freedom from time means freedom from needing the past to define who you are or the future to fulfill you. It's a profound shift in consciousness, a transformation that can happen suddenly through complete surrender in the midst of intense suffering, or gradually through consistent, mindful effort. You'll naturally move between moments of presence and identification with the mind, but with practice, presence will become your predominant state. 2. Levels of unconsciousness shape our reality. Most people rarely, if ever, experience true presence. Instead, they tend to oscillate between different levels of unconsciousness, much like the phases of sleep. Ordinary unconsciousness involves being completely identified with your thoughts, emotions, reactions, desires, and aversions. It's a state controlled by the egoic mind, unaware of the deeper reality of being. This leads to a constant, low-level unease that often goes unnoticed. Deep unconsciousness arises when the ego feels threatened, triggering intense negativity and identification with the pain body. The way you handle life's challenges reveals your level of consciousness. Challenges can either awaken you or pull you deeper into unconsciousness. 3. Presence power dissolves negativity. Cultivating consciousness in everyday life is essential. This strengthens your presence power, generating a high-frequency energy field that prevents unconsciousness, negativity, and discord from taking hold. Witnessing your thoughts and emotions reveals the constant background static of ordinary unconsciousness, characterized by judgment, discontent, and mental projection. This resistance to the now is a collective dysfunction linked to a loss of awareness of being. It underlies our dehumanized civilization, creating unhappiness and violence. 4. Dissolving unconsciousness frees you. To break free from this affliction, bring it into the light of awareness. Observe how unease, discontent, and tension arise from unnecessary judgment, resistance, and denial of the now. Anything unconscious dissolves when illuminated by consciousness. Self-observation is key. Ask yourself, am I at ease, or what's happening inside me? This helps you detect subtle unease and recognize how you resist life by denying the now. By monitoring your mental and emotional state and directing your attention inward, you can address and dissolve this resistance. 5. Resistance creates inner and outer conflict. Resenting your activities or harboring unspoken resentment contaminates yourself and others, polluting the collective human psyche. Whether your thoughts and emotions are justified is irrelevant. Resisting what is makes the present moment your enemy, creating unhappiness and inner conflict. Dropping negativity involves recognizing its futility and letting go. Deep unconsciousness requires transmutation through acceptance and sustained attention. However, many patterns in ordinary unconsciousness can be dropped once you realize you have a choice and can access the power of now. 6. Factually bad means cutting off well-being. When a mind pattern or emotion arises, accept it, recognizing that you weren't conscious enough to choose otherwise. Negative feelings are factually bad because they cut you off from your natural state of well-being and the joy of life within. Acceptance prevents you from blindly acting out negative emotions, but eventually you need to move beyond acceptance to prevent these emotions from arising altogether. Without judgment or resistance, negative feelings wouldn't arise in the first place. Continuing to indulge in unhappiness strengthens the ego's illusion of separation. 7. Complaining is always non-acceptance. Become aware of complaining, whether in speech or thought, about situations, people, or surroundings. Complaining is a form of non-acceptance and carries a negative charge, making you a victim. You have 3 choices: change the situation through action, or speaking out, leave it, or accept it fully. All else is madness. Ordinary unconsciousness is linked to denying the now and resisting your here and now. Wherever you are, be there totally. If your present situation is intolerable, remove yourself, change it, or accept it completely, taking responsibility without excuses, negativity, or psychic pollution. 8. Acknowledge fear as you take action. If you choose to take action, first release any negativity you might be holding on to. Action arising from insight is more effective than action driven by negativity. Any action is better than staying stuck. Acknowledge any fear that arises, observe it, and be present with it to sever the link between fear and your thinking. Use the power of now to overcome fear. If you cannot change or leave your situation, accept it totally by dropping all inner resistance. Surrender to the present moment, freeing yourself internally. 9. Stress splits you apart inside. Either do what you should be doing or fully accept your inactivity, enjoying it consciously to resolve inner conflict, resistance, and negativity. Stress arises from wanting to be there instead of being here, creating an internal split. You can move, work, or run intensely without projecting into the future, enjoying the flow of energy in the present moment. Or you can simply sit on a park bench and observe your mind without judgment. 10. Die to the past every moment. If the past consumes your attention, creating guilt, pride, resentment, or self-pity, you reinforce a false sense of self and accelerate your body's aging. Die to the past in every moment. Refer to it only when it's relevant to the present. Feel the power of this moment and the fullness of being. Worrying involves identifying with your mind, projecting into an imaginary future, and creating fear. Stop this by acknowledging the present moment, becoming aware of your breathing and inner energy field. 11. Waiting creates inner conflict. If your goals overshadow the present, taking away your joy, you are essentially waiting to start living. This leads to perpetual dissatisfaction. Waiting means wanting the future and not wanting the present, creating inner conflict between your here and now and the projected future. While striving to improve your life is fine, don't substitute it for the feeling of life and being, which is only accessible in the now. 12. Gratitude for now is true prosperity. Waiting for prosperity means it cannot come in the future. Honor, acknowledge, and accept your present reality, being grateful for what you have and for being itself. Dissatisfaction may drive you to seek wealth, but you will still experience inner lack and unfulfillment. Give up waiting as a state of mind and snap into the present moment, just being and enjoying being. The false, unhappy self lives on time and feels threatened by the present, doing all it can to keep you trapped in time. 13. Inner purpose deepens being now. Having a sense of purpose is essential, but while knowing your destination is helpful, the only truly real thing is the step you take now. Your life journey has an outer purpose, achieving goals, and an inner purpose, deepening your being in the now. The outer purpose belongs to space and time, while the inner purpose concerns the quality of your consciousness in the timeless now. Realize that each step contains all others and transforms into an act of beauty, taking you into the fullness of being. 14. Outer purpose is a game to play. Whether you achieve your outer purpose matters until you realize your inner purpose. After that, it becomes a game you play for enjoyment. Realizing the limitations of your outer purpose helps you make it subservient to your inner purpose. There is no need to investigate the unconscious past, except as it manifests in the present as thoughts, emotions, or external events. Delving into the past can become a bottomless pit. Only the present can free you from the past. Access the power of now, which is your consciousness liberated from thought forms. 15. Past cannot survive in your presence. Deal with the past on the level of the present. The more attention you give to the past, the more you energize it. Instead, pay attention to your behavior, reactions, moods, thoughts, emotions, fears, and desires as they occur now. Being present enough to watch these aspects non-judgmentally dissolves the past. You find yourself by coming into the present, not by going into the past. While insights into past conditioning can be helpful, your conscious presence is what ultimately dissolves the past. It cannot survive in your presence.